Hi everyone, it's Chris. Thanks again for checking in. I wanted to go over a couple of things in this particular post. The first is, if you're new to this business in any way, shape, or form, you're going to run into this sooner or later, and more than likely it's going to be sooner. In fact, that's kind of what I've been running into the last month or so. Overwhelm. Oh my word. You start off in this business, you subscribe to somebody's information, and for those of you who subscribe to mine, I thank you. But I'm sure I'm not the only one. I know I've subscribed to a number of different people's lists because they really do provide great information. And some of the courses I've, obviously invested some money in, and you get all this great information, but then you start getting all the offers, and you get the next greatest thing. And right now, let's see, Easy Video Player is a big thing that's coming out with version 2.0. Kajabi is a big thing. And there's all this stuff that's constantly coming at you. It's the newest in SEO, it's the newest in how to generate traffic, it's the newest in how to put up your blog, it's the newest in how to create a freaking video. Oh my God, I could spend 27 hours a day learning, and that's it, and not have time to take action on anything. And that's the problem with overwhelm. So here's what I'd like you to do. And this is something that I've actually learned through the affiliate.com course that Mike Filsaime talks about a lot. You have to put down a list. You've got to get a list together, and you've got to say, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Whether it's 1 through 10, 1 through 5, the top 3 things you're going to get done, something. I personally do a top 5. I like that a lot. And the way that I organize is that I'll say, here's the top 5 things that I really want to get done in the next 24, 48 hours, the next week, or whatever it is. This is the one thing of those top 5 that I'm absolutely not going to let get skipped. This is something that has to get done. This is something I'm going to make a priority. And the other 4 are more the nice to haves. Now, that's because right now I have a full-time day job, and so I need to stay flexible. And so if things come up with that job, I can pull back a little bit. But there is at least one thing on that top 5 that I will not skip. Has to get done, and it's the most important thing. And so I focus on that most important thing for whatever it is. Maybe it's putting up a fan page on Facebook, maybe it's creating a website, generating a report that I want to generate as a giveaway, things along those lines. Doing a blog post, this video for instance. So again, for me, if you want to model what I'm doing, and I get a lot of this again from that affiliate.com course, top 5 things that you want to make sure that you get done, let's say in the next week. We'll keep it easy, assuming you're doing this part-time. In the next week, I want you to write down 5 things that you want to take action on. Of those 5 things, what is the absolute single most important thing that it's non-negotiable, has to get done? And focus on that, work that plan. Now, this is where Mike's comments come in really helpful for me in particular. You're going to get these emails. You're going to get the newest and greatest and latest, and here's the way to make things easier. The way that he filters it out, the way that he suggests that you filter it out, and I'm integrating this, I think it's a great idea, is you look at whatever this system, this product, this service, the software, whatever it happens to be, you look at it and you go, okay, does this help me get these next 5 things done? If it does, maybe you take a little bit of time into it. If it really does help you get this thing done. If it doesn't, then maybe now's not the right time, put it on the back burner. One thing I learned a lot, I do a lot of trading when it comes to like stocks and forex and currencies and things along those lines. One thing I've learned with trading is there is always another stock. There is always another opportunity. There's always another chance to make money. Always. And if you are in this pattern of thinking, I've got to take advantage of this now, I've got to make this happen now, that's when you need to pull back because you're too emotionally involved in this thing. Pull back, take 3 days and just disconnect from everything. It'll all be there. Trust me, it'll be there. But take some time to pull back and just sort of get your bearings again, because chances are you've lost them. And if you're thinking from an emotional standpoint, you're going to make some silly decisions. And that's where I know some people out there have, rack up the credit card debt. I've done it in the past, to be honest. And so I know what this is like. I'm speaking from experience here. So instead of racking up the credit card debt, trying to learn the latest and greatest new things, just pull back for a few days, go back to the basics, focus on what your original top 5 were, and all that stuff is going to be there next week. In fact, I can practically guarantee the next week or next month or next year, when you're ready to go back to this stuff, there's going to be even greater things. It'll be 3.0 versions, and there'll be brand new stuff coming out that's the latest and greatest, and you should forget about all that stuff last year. And it's always going to be like this. This business is constantly evolving. One of the things I like about it, it's a massive amount of variety, always something new to learn. The first thing you really got to focus on, though, taking action. So again, top 5. Of those 5, what's the one thing you absolutely will get done, and you keep that commitment at all costs? So the second thing I want to talk about briefly here is I'm going to reorganize this website a little bit, and that's because of a conversation I had with my mom, believe it or not. I'm talking to my mom last week, and I let her in on what I was doing. This is the first time I've really talked to her about it. We went through the websites, I showed her where they were. She lives a few states away from me, so this is on a phone call. And as I'm walking her through the sites, I'm realizing that I'm not speaking necessarily to novices most of the time when I'm writing the blog or going over these video posts. So I'm going to pull back a little bit, and I'm going to kind of cover a lot of basics. Things like how to set up a domain name, things like how to set up hosting, basic stuff that, to be honest, you could YouTube and you could find other places, but why? You're here now, you might as well be able to find it here. So a lot of this I'm using my mom as an inspiration, and I'm going to be acting kind of like I'm talking through with her on some of these. So because, to be honest, she knows nothing about the internet, she knows nothing about computers. So I think if I keep her in mind as that ultimate person to help out, that ultimate student, that maybe some other people can find some value in those. And of course, if you are a little more advanced and you know that stuff, then clearly tune into the stuff that's a little bit more advanced. So that's all I've got. Again, I appreciate you liking and sharing this blog post. I appreciate any comments that you want to make, because I really enjoy the interaction back and forth. And for those of you who are doing it on the blog, I appreciate it. For those of you on Facebook liking it, again, I definitely appreciate it. And as many people as can share out on Twitter, help me spread the word. So thanks again. For those of you who are taking the affiliate.com course, I am going to Vegas, so I look forward to seeing many of you there. And I think that's about it. So thanks again for checking in, and we'll see you on the next post.